Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
How's it going, everybody? Tonight's just me and Squatch tonight. Squatch is right here.
Hello.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about, excuse me, how the internet's changed deer hunting forever. And I don't think we fully admitted how much it changed us as hunters. It connected us. It helped us learn. It gave everyday hunters a voice. But it also changed what success is supposed to look like. Tonight, we're going to be talking about social media and trophy culture and the unrealistic expectations and why a lot of hunters feel like they have fallen even when they're actually doing hunting the right way. But with that being said, I want to take a quick second to acknowledge Squatch got a bird today. Congratulations. A round of applause for him. Oh, man. I think I have the applause thing. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it only
Give a
took me
quick
to the
story
last
on
day
that.
of friggin' turkey season to get one, you know?
Yeah. Give a quick rundown on it, brother. I know you
Yes.
you did
No,
Instagram right now.
Yeah, it's been a rough season. Started out promising and I had Frank and my cousin down and we had birds gobbling opening day, and then after that it shut off. I don't know what the hell happened over where I grew up, but I hunted hard, man. I couldn't find a bird. I had one back here up by the house one morning with a hen. They stayed with the hens, went the other way. So I pretty much just gave up. I hunted real hard through Memorial Day. It took 3 days off. Just nothing. I was like, it's just not my year. It's okay, whatever. I've killed plenty of turkeys in my day. It's all right. So this morning, lo and behold, I had plans to go fishing for the first time up at the reservoir where I catch all my big trout. My dog ended up getting sick in the middle of the night, so I was up at 3:00 in the morning versus 4 when I usually get up to go hunting or fishing. And I said, you know what? I did a lot of wood splitting yesterday. I said, I'm going to go get a massage this morning. And there's a place I can get a massage. So I said, you know what? I'll make an appointment for about 9:15 with that. Well, we let the dogs out. My wife had our one dog, Dash, who needs some special help because she's blind and deaf now. And she goes, hey, I hear a gobble up in the orchard, like far back. I'm like, did you really? Well, I started making my own pot calls now. I make them in slate, aluminum, crystal, all different kinds. So look for those coming up. It's called the Squatch Series calls. And it's a new endeavor I'm getting into. And they're sounding pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. And I called a couple times on the back porch. He gobbled back. I was like, you know what? He's got hens with him. He's just coming down off the roost. Breeding's over. I'm like, I sure as hell I'm not going to rush. I got breakfast on. I'm like, I told my wife, I said, you know what? If I friggin' eat breakfast and I go out there on the back porch and hit that call again, then I'll go after him. So I eat breakfast, went out on the back porch. About 15 minutes later, I hit the call and he fired up again. I was like, all right, I'm going up the hill. Went up the hill, messed around with him for about 30 minutes. I outwitted him, and he came up, nice old mature Tom, 9-inch beard, 16 pounds. Got to expect a little less weight on them this time of the year because, they've been in their rut, basically like a buck. They run themselves down. He probably was about 21-pound bird, maybe back in the beginning of the spring. But still, overall, I didn't expect it. I made a nice 40-yard shot at him, put him right down. That old Mossberg 835, I love that gun. I wish I could tell you how many turkeys I've shot. But, dude, last day of the season, last morning, spring of 26, and I finally got one. Go figure. I had no plans of even going out. And you know what? It's like I always say, it's on God's time. I'm just in the right place. He's like, look, it's there. Go get it. So you know what? It's all good, man. I'm just happy to get one down, and it made my day. And, you get down on yourself because you got a reputation to uphold online with all your fellow hunters and everything, like we're probably going to get into tonight, talking about the internet success and thing. And, I'm releasing new handmade calls that I'm making, and what a putz I would be to be like, yeah, I make these calls, but I didn't get a bird this year. So
let me ask you this before we start getting into the nitty gritty about tonight.
Yeah.
With you having a social media content and myself.
Yeah.
Last year, like I said, we've talked about it a couple times. We've had EHD proms here in Michigan, and last year I didn't see anything. I seen a lot of deer on camera, but they just all died. There's nothing came.
Right.
And I had a chance at a 150 buck at 32 yards, but I couldn't get a shot off on him. Anyways, I felt down on myself the entire year because it was a multi-layer thing of why I felt low on myself. One, because I just wasn't getting any meat for the freezer. I wasn't seeing anything. I couldn't figure out what to do next. Just like everything I was trying and throwing at these deer just wasn't working. And come to realize that they just simply weren't there, or I just wasn't in the right spot. And then the other reason I was feeling low on myself was because, well, I got a social media platform, and it didn't take a full lot of myself. I'm feeling down about that, but I was just like, man, if I can't shoot anything, what does that say about me? Do you feel that kind of responsibility in some capacity? Because I felt it on like a scale of 1 to 10. I felt that part of a social media part of my hunting was maybe at like a 4. Like it was there, but just not enough to like make me like really care. Because like at the end of the day, it's still hunting, and I can't do anything when there's just nothing there.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I got nothing. I can't prove anything. I can't back up what I'm saying. So, do you feel that way in some regard?
I really do. Ever since I've been on social media, the pump to be that dude that's out in the woods, and I mean, got to take it even to the next extreme. I got a few years on you, no offense, but a guy like me should be able to go out, no problem. Hey, you know what? Bing, bang, boom. I'm done back home having coffee, and it just proves it. It don't matter how good you are or what you do or what you know, God, Mother Nature, all these things take place. And, I think, I mean, I don't want to say it was a test because it really wasn't. Like I was enjoying my time out in the woods. I really was. I mean, I really, as older I get, I like a few years back, I would have been really pissed. Like I didn't shoot something by now, but now it's like I'm getting older. I'm like, God, just thank God I can get out and sit and enjoy and do stuff. I mean, you look at guys like Jagger. Look at the immense hurdles that kid has to overcome just to get out and hunt. Not worried about shooting anything, which he does. He's a slayer, but imagine having to like figure that out. Like you look at Onyx and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go up to that ridge. And, it takes us 5 minutes to walk up there, where it takes Jagger half an hour with hand crutches to get up there. So if I didn't shoot anything, you know what? So what? I was out enjoying myself. I was able to get up there very easily and enjoy myself, even though I'm fat and I was a little winded. But I mean, outside of that, it's all good, man. Yeah. And I mean, look at Shane. You got Shane here, the blind hunter. He got a bird with his buddy in the blind. I mean,
11.5-inch bread.
Yeah, the dude can't see, and he shoots a turkey, and he got a turkey before I did. So I mean, hey, God bless him. That's freaking awesome. I was happy for him to hear he got one finally. And I think we get down on ourselves, but then you got to take yourself out of that situation, and you got to look what other people have to deal with. Like T8 Hunter, we had him on the show. He's in a wheelchair, a tracked wheelchair. It doesn't stop the guy. He gets out. He does what he's got to do. So yeah. To answer your question, yes, I do. It bothers me. Of course, I always want to be in the spotlight. I always want to have a good trophy under my feet that I shot and be that guy. Because people think I'm that guy, and I've told you guys before, I'm not a legend. I'm a normal guy. I never forgot where I came from, where I started. I am not that, but people are like, "You're a legend. You're the OG. You're just listen." It's just because I've been around a while. So is Dust. It doesn't mean Dust is great. Everybody hates Dust. But I just try to do my best. And yes, social media does put a lot of pressure on me, especially with my pages, my podcast, who looks up to me, who's paying attention to what I'm doing. My factory reps, guys that, I'm using their products and stuff like that. Of course, I want to shine. I want to do the best of what they make and look good, but it always doesn't go like that. We're all human beings. Stuff happens. And that's another reason too. I don't get really into contests. I was asked to be in a contest. I didn't like it the one year I was in it. I don't want that added pressure. It's pressure enough trying to get Mother Nature to cooperate and God to give you a trophy, and it's
Yeah, right.
it's tough, man. And a lot of people get wrapped up in it. I know so many people are like, dude, you're absolutely right. I should have listened to you and I did this. And you live and learn, it's not for everybody.
I think because of where we're at now and the culture that we have with hunting, where it's at now with social media, but also looking at like trophy hunting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whitetail Advantage was created for the blue collar worker, the hard card worker guy to get out there and be successful. I mean, we know what we're doing. We may not be the brightest people out there, might not know like every aspect of everything, but you know what? We are going to help put you in a position to shoot deer, help shoot you, get you in a good position to shoot the best possible deer that you could find too.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in this world of, trophy management, trophy hunting, and 200-inch deer. And it's kind of how social media grew to this point. It's like, well, if you're not shooting 200-inch deer, then what type of hunter are you?
Right.
No, we've lost sight, in my opinion, of what hunting really, really is truly about.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it time and time again. Hunting is all about getting out in the woods, being up in a tree, and harvesting a deer to provide meat for your family.
Yeah.
Let's also not confuse this either. If you're just looking at, even with gun hunting, I'll say this too, you just have more of ability to shoot longer distances, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is still hard as hell to shoot a living creature that was designed to evade you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to try to stick a little stick with a little sharp point at the end of it through this deer.
Mm-hmm.
That in and of itself is complex.
Yeah.
What we are here to do is to help break those down to the best possible position to where you can put yourself to harvest a deer. Right. I've been hunting. I think this is going to be my 21st year hunting.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest deer is 144 inches, once in a lifetime. Okay, and I hunt on a private piece here in Michigan.
Yeah.
Everything else has probably been the 80s or 100s or something like that. But you know what? I'm proud of each and every deer that I've shot. I can remember each story with each deer that I've shot.
Oh, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I want to shoot the best possible deer I possibly can. But we also have to remember how hard it is to shoot a deer.
Yeah.
And with social media, where we're at now, we can talk about there's good that came from it, but there's also a cost of social media. Mm-hmm. And if we don't talk about that cost, it starts shaping the culture without us even realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the biggest thing social media changed. What hunters think success is supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
You see nowadays, the reels, the pictures, everyone's posting something. Okay.
Yep.
Social media didn't just let us share hunting. It changed what hunters think normal success looks like.
Yeah.
And being out in the woods, you are going to go out there in the woods and you're not going to be successful every single time. Okay.
Right.
It's just simple. I've been out there. Last year was a case in point. EHD killed a lot of deer in my area. I shot a small doe, got maybe 50 pounds worth of meat off of her.
Yep.
When there's deer that have been around me, I've eaten a tag sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
That is hunting. It's not this glorified where we live now of, well, if they're going out there shooting a deer on the first get, well, how come I'm not doing it? No, you're not seeing all the back end of stuff that they're not showing you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And I know Squatch has been hunting a lot longer than I have, and he's probably eaten a couple of tag sandwiches, maybe, or a version of it. When I eat a tag sandwich, we had here in Michigan before it was the $1 rule. You can buy the $2 and a doe tag.
Yep.
I didn't fill a tag at all. That's what I call a tag sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been there, Squatch, of sometimes you just can't. There's just, no matter what you do,
Right.
You can have the best game plan possible, and we'll talk about this in an upcoming show about summer patterns. You can create. You have to be very flexible too. You can create a great game plan going into the fall, but it, literally on opening day, it's probably going to flip on you, and you have to be able to adjust quickly.
Yep. No, definitely, man. I mean, over the years, there was one season. Oh, it was back out when I first started hunting. That's the only one I remember not getting anything that season. I was really young, really young. Every year since then, I've been blessed to shoot a deer. It may not have been a buck, but I shot doe, and I'm happy about it. I mean, there's been years like today, it went right down to the wire, and I was like, oh man, is this going to be the first freaking year, that I don't get a deer? And then whammo. Or there's been seasons where it's been just hell through all like archery and normal season. I'm getting into late muzzleloader season and put the smack down on deer, knock 4 deer down with the muzzleloader. But like I said, I was really young. I was jumping around different places. I don't know. Like I've always been like, when I was younger, as a killer. I don't call myself a hunter. I was that guy that just went out and shot everything. I grew up in the woods. There was nothing to do. But then when I took it on really seriously and had more respect, and I've always had a successful year, thank God. I mean, I've just been blessed being able. I'm not just saying that. I mean, I'm honestly trying to think back, and I really think it was just that one year, that one season. I might have even shot a doe that year, but it's a lot. I mean, talking like 15, 16 years old. I'm 51. It's hard to remember back that long, but it's really told me and taught me a big difference. It's so many different things run through your mind too. It's like you're out there, you're trying to make the shot. Like this morning, my heart was going. I felt like that bird was going to come in. I had him fooled. And, I'm saying to myself, well, I got to get out of here soon because I got to go for my massage at 9:15. And it was like 7:30-ish, and I had to leave the house around no later than like 8:30. So I'm saying, come on, I got to get this done. It's the last freaking day. Don't play with me, bird. Come up here. And, I had to really take my time and just less was more today, and really had to think things through, like not screw it up. So, yeah, I mean, all these scenarios, they play through your head. Social media, what your peers think of you. I mean, I get aggravated enough, and it's like I don't give a what about what anybody thinks, and that's the way I've always been. I don't really care, but somewhere in that subliminal back in my mind, I do. I really do. And I feel like I owe it to my followers, people who are fans of mine, and just good friends that look up to me, that I need to really, really do it, and get it done. And it's tough, man. It's just one of those things. Yeah, cousin Brian, what's up, Bri? So yeah, it definitely plays a role, man. It social media, you get in a contest, with people on social media, and then stuff happens,
Research on social comparison shows people compare themselves upward against people they see as more successful. And hunting social media is full of those comparisons. Bigger bucks, bigger land, better photos, and better seasons.
Right.
The problem is that social media mostly shows the highlight reel and not the whole season. Now there are a lot I see on there, they'll show the work that they're doing, but that's not getting glorified like the harvest reels or the photos and stuff like that.
Yep.
And that is how the internet made normal deer and normal seasons and normal hunters feel like they are not enough. I remember when I was growing up, it was kind of in the hunting podcasts and YouTube and social media was kind of what I would say in its infancy phase, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just bam, it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
And I would even watching it on TV, like we had a subscription to the Outdoor Network.
Yeah.
Even watching them on the TV channel and watching their shows, I was like, well, if they're doing it, how come I can't do it? I suck as a hunter. No, it's just there for your enjoyment. You can't compare where you're at and what you've got going on with your hunting abilities or access to what they have. Now you got to remember, most of these people with these TV shows and what's the word I want to use here? Social media platforms that are like highly getting paid. You can't compare them because they're also getting some type of funds too to help them create good content.
That's it.
And where was this? Yeah, upward social comparison on social media is linked to negative well-being outcomes and lower self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to ask people out there, like, have you caught yourself in that position where you're looking at other successful hunts that people have their own on content on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever the case may be, and just kind of doubted yourself, put yourself down in some comparison? Because I know I've done it. I still do it to this day. Most of the time, it's like, well, shit. And I don't even realize it, but when I see Squatch or Frank or any guys from the team and they get harvest, I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I suck. I can't even do anything. Like these guys are my brothers and I can't do anything. So I even done it with friends and family. So it's a real thing, but you can't get down on yourself though.
Yeah, and you can't hate those other people that are doing good either. I mean, it's just
right
what was dealt to them. I mean, like I said, everything happens in God's time. I'm the biggest freaking stunod when it comes to that, hearing that, telling myself that until I actually watch it go down. Because, I think it's how we're taught from our dads, like, don't cry, don't be a man and freaking, get your butt to work. And, you get all these like scenarios in your head and you're like, hunting is one of them, and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I was talking about it today to my wife when I was out working on some of my calls this afternoon. And I'm like, I mean, look at this freaking year. It's nuts. I spent like 20 days in the freaking woods hunting turkeys. Me, accomplished Squatch guy that, everybody's like, oh, he's a great caller and all this stuff. I'm just me. I'm me. I've always been me. I don't freaking know anything more than freaking half the people out there. It's where you are. It's how the birds respond. You got to have turkeys there to kill turkeys. And where I was going, I think the population's down from all the years. I mean, it used to be really great where I grew up, but it just sucks now. And here it's such a crapshoot because they're orchards. So they maintain orchards. Some days they're in there working. Some days they're not there for days. It just depends on if I can get up in there and hunt, and it's the same thing during hunting season. With deer, it's like sometimes I'll have hunts blown at 7 o'clock in the morning because now they're in there working, running tractors all around. But here it is, it's on God's time. It's like 2 years ago when I shot that buck late in the season. It was the last day of bow season and I let it rip and I shot that 8-pointer. I mean, he wasn't a monster, but there you go again. Here I was under pressure because we had a competition going and I didn't want to leave my partner hanging with no points. So I was like, all right, it's not what I would typically shoot, but I'm going to shoot it to get on the board. And like an asshole, I felt bad. I shot a 2.5-year-old 8 that could have been a nice buck. And then I say to myself, well, don't get down on yourself because somebody out in the orchard drive in with a car, shoot it out the window, and so be it. So, I mean, you're torn so many different ways with hunting season. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the highlight reel change what success looks like, the next thing it changed is what hunters value. And then we talk about antlers. Antlers have always mattered to hunters, but social media turned them into a scoreboard.
Yep.
Okay. The bigger the buck, the more attention, and over time that starts changing what hunters think and counts.
Mm-hmm.
Research on hunting motivation shows satisfaction is not just about harvest, tradition, camaraderie, experience, and opportunity matter too. And I've said that time and time again. That's what hunting is all about. The tradition that's passed on from the beginning of time all the way down to us. And at some point, once the internet was created, that was when things started to shift and we started to get into, and don't get me wrong, it's fun to watch these hunting channels and YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's fun to watch. It's very educational. There's a lot of good that we said that come out of it. Heck, without social media, you wouldn't have a full team of Whitetail Advantage with Squatch, Frank, and Johnny and Dave.
Right.
And now we're all brothers. Now we talk, we text each other in a group chat every day.
Yeah. Yep.
But the actual hunt of itself, we're losing sight of what that is. And when that happened here in Michigan, I strongly still believe we wanted a $1 rule to create a trophy management placed in the entire state.
Yeah.
And I said it to them. I told them, I can't say it enough. We're losing sight of what hunting is all about. Yep. Getting outside, getting a deer. I can't tell you, just getting a deer itself is how satisfactory it is. Satisfaction you get out of harvesting a deer, because you're able to put a living creature on the ground and harvest the meat for your family. Right. No matter what the size the antlers were or anything that might be. Granted, the bigger the rack most generally means an older, mature deer. Generally means it's going to be harder to harvest them because they're smarter compared to the younger ones.
Right.
But that will also grow in time because you're out there getting the experience hunting. Yep. You have to go through those hard times. And like I said, we'll help give guidelines of like how to find them and how to harvest them and stuff like that. But just getting out there and getting the experience. I think I had my buddy, he's just started hunting. I think he's going to be going into his 6th or 5th year hunting this year.
Yeah.
And he's only shot a 20-inch deer, 10-inch deer. Yeah. He's like, I told him, it's going to come, dude. Every hunter deserves that one in a lifetime buck, but you got to put in the work. It's not just going to come like that.
No.
So hunting is no different than getting hard work out of something. You got to put the hard work in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, now that the turkey's down, I mean, I got a lot of fishing I want to do yet. Every year I always put time into my fishing, love fishing. But my mind's on the woods now. I'm already thinking about, okay, I got to start door knocking because I'm losing properties. I got to come up with a game plan, dude. We're in June. We got July, and then August, September. And by September, you should have all your shit ready to go and know what you're going to be doing for opening day. We open up here on October 1st for our regular bow season. There's an early season before that for doe. But, I got a lot of work ahead of me yet, man. And, you got daily life too, man. I mean, you got your normal job, side work that you do. Like a knucklehead, I started making turkey calls. I'm trying to get my firewood done. I was outside all day yesterday splitting these huge pieces of oak by hand so I can put them up on the regular hydraulic splitter. Get my wood squared away for this winter because who knows how fuel prices are going to be. And, it's just a lot, man. And, you've got so many hours in a day. You got, responsibilities, your wife, your family and stuff. And, you're talking about the internet really taking up time and all that fun stuff. I mean, it's not just that, it's everyday life too. You're in competition with your job. You're in competition with things that go on in your life, your family. I mean, it's not just social media, and it's like you said, people are losing track of what the ultimate design was. I mean, when you think about hunting, where hunting originated from, it was to provide food. It might have been provide textiles, furs and, guys who trap for money and sold furs in the fur trade and still putting food on their table. That's where it came from. Nobody gave a shit about how big a buck was. They cared about how many pounds it was. I mean, that was always the biggest thing when we grew up. I shot tons of scrub bucks, man, but some of them were freaking swamp donkeys. They were like 150, 160 pound fat orchard swamp diving deer, and I couldn't be happier. We were putting meat on the table. I mean,
that's what they do up there in Maine.
Yeah. I mean, I shot.
That's all they care about. They don't like who's got the biggest weighted deer.
Yeah.
They don't look at the rack size. I'm sure in some capacity they do, but they are like the competition is who got the biggest deer weight-wise.
Yeah. No, like I said, social media has been like the high school bus ride when you're in middle school. Let's put it that way. If that makes any sense to you at all.
Yeah.
Because you were that little fat, pudgy kid in 5th grade getting on the high school bus with guys that were 18 years old and repeated 12th grade 3 times and, wanting to kick your ass. It's kind of like social media is. You're getting on that high school bus and you're just a little shit getting on your middle school on your way to school.
Yeah, right.
you know,
And you brought up a good point. And I think it needs to be mentioned more about real life, your actual life itself. You can't neglect that. Like
Yep.
I'll lay things out for myself right now. This is how busy my life is. I got a wife. I got a 5-year-old daughter. I got a 3-year-old son. My 5-year-old daughter, she's about to have, I think this is her last week. Next week is her last week of young fives or something like that. And she's going to be going to the next grade. My son's about a year or 2 years behind, and he'll be starting young fives, whatever the pre-K thing.
Yeah.
That in itself is busy and hectic because I have to raise 2 kids. I have to be a good husband.
Yeah.
On top of, I have a house that I own, not own, but and I have to maintain the house and do my husbandly, fatherly man chores around the house. I got to do all that stuff. That's a task in itself.
Yeah.
Then I have to go to actual work from 8 to 5. I have that 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's daunting in and of itself. Come back home. And then running social media, this is no easy task.
Nope.
It's a busy life doing this in of itself, trying to make sure we stay up to date with all this that we do.
Yep.
Then I gotta find the time to put in the hard work for my hunting season and to do all that. And we all know I golf. I golf when I can. And so I have a busy life in itself. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm saying that because you have to find the time. And
So-
like I mentioned earlier, putting in the hard work. I am a busy guy from the moment I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning till I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And finding the time to go out in the woods to get my tree stands all set up and ready to go. Make sure I got good entrances. Make sure I got the good trees selected. Get everything prepped and ready to go. So when I have hunting season come around, I know exactly where I need to go. I have backup plan after backup plan after backup plan of where I might be sitting in a tree.
Yeah.
And then putting in the actual work of practicing with my bow and arrow, making sure that's not getting, because it's not like a bike. You can't just get it back on it and go ride. No, you got to put in the time and work to do that.
That's right.
So it is a busy life in hunting. If you're going to try to be a very good hunter, you can't just slack off. You got to put in the work. I'm constantly working out to make sure I stay in the best shape possible for hunting and kind of get back to hunting online. The problem is that online hunting culture often rewards the most visible outcome and not the deepest meaning of the hunt. I can't tell you, after every deer that I harvested growing up, my dad was always there. I'm fortunate enough to still have my dad around. And when I shot a deer, it was a text message now to my dad saying, "Hey, I shot a deer." We meet up back at the house. We get something quick to eat, unless we saw it go die right there. But we'll go back up, talk about it real quick, have some fun over that, drink a beer now. And Mom will make us a quick something to snack on, eat in our food, get food in our belly.
Right.
And my mom, fortunate enough to still have my mom around, that's her favorite part about the hunt, is going out and helping track with me and my dad to go look for the deer. Even though we know right exactly where it died, but she just loves being a part of it.
Right.
And then texting my friends like, "Oh, I shot a deer," and seeing all the compliments you get from that. That in and of itself is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
The size of the deer is probably one of the least things that's probably on my mind. Going into the hunt, that's probably the one thing I want to get. But actually harvesting the deer after the fact, the rack itself is like the 9th on my 10 most happiest things of getting a deer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I talked about it. You guys know my backstory a little bit for, the guys who've been following us for a while. But, you your traditions, like you're saying, you're fortunate enough to have your family around and stuff like that. I was always fortunate enough to have my grandfather around, my dad around growing up. And, the old way things went down was, you came out of the woods and grandpa came out and got a picture with you with your deer. And, that went
Mhm.
away. So enjoy these times, it's far too short. And, you know,
Oh,
it's one of those things, traditions, you know, it's people. I think people that just play the game, like they just want to be in the spotlight and social media. They didn't have that upbringing. Maybe they never experienced that. So maybe that's their way of showing off. I don't know. I mean, I've got Polaroids all over the place from years ago. You came back, got a picture with Gramps. He was proud of you. Your dad or whoever. Good friends, your brothers, cousins, whoever's with you. And that's definitely like the highlight. It's and I mean it's got between my cousin and I. I'm not gonna bullshit anybody. I mean, he knows it, I know it. We've had our tough times and stuff. I mean, we're two thick-headed freaking Italians, we just do our thing. But we had about a year apart, and now we're catching up and things are going well. And I appreciate that. It can happen in your own family. And there's a lot more. There's a lot of backstory to it that I'm not going to get into. But it happens even with family. And
mhm.
it's but then now, like, things are working out and back together. I mean, it's the even if we don't kill something, it's the fun of hanging out and being together and spending that quality time. Because life's short. We don't know how much longer we got with. But I mean, dude, you could go across the street, get hit by a car, it's done. Now you don't have any
Right.
memories of whatever happened. God forbid. I'm just saying, worst case scenario, something could happen. Look at that. Who cares what social media is? I mean, yeah, it's nice. Like today, I couldn't wait to post on there. Hey, I got a turkey finally. But I was just grateful to God. I mean, I even said it in the video where you see me run up to get the turkey. I'm just grateful that God was cool enough to say, you know what? Yeah, you worked your ass off this whole season, and I know you've been working hard, but boom, there you go. So,
Well, Justin here, he commented, making memories is what it's mostly about, and
oh yeah,
that's the truth. That's all.
God's
Like
honest truth.
when I was growing up, my dad he would go up to the UP.
Yeah,
They'd spend 2 weeks up in the cabin up there. And growing up, I always wanted to do that. That was their tradition every year. They'd go up there for 2 weeks and go do that.
yep,
And as soon as I started getting older in high school, I started playing more sports and stuff like that. That tradition died, so I wasn't
yeah,
able to go do that. Kind of my fault, I guess, in some capacity.
yeah,
But now hunting is it's like I said, it's about tradition, and
yep,
that's getting lost. And we mainly created social media was to help share the harvest that we got, and no matter what it is, I'm gonna be excited for you if you shot a spike or a 300-inch deer. I don't give two shits.
yeah,
I'm happy for you because you went out there and enjoyed hunting, and you were fortunate enough to harvest a deer.
yep,
And I'm gonna I want to hear the whole story from beginning to end, whether you shot a doe or, like I said, a 300-inch deer.
yeah,
And the tradition now that I had with my father, it's kind of evolved into what it is now.
hmm,
Uh, when I shot fish hook, it was funny. There was a photo. We always get photos together with me and my dad, and then me and my mom, and then me and my wife now, and stuff like that.
yeah,
Everyone got an individual picture with the guy that shot the deer.
yeah,
There's a photo of me holding fish hook's rack and me
mm.
shaking my dad's hand, and him and I were both looking at the camera, smiling. And literally, the next photo was him like staring at me, giving me the mean mugging look, like you motherfucker. And it was funny because like you could just kind of go back and forth. You can see him happy, pissed, happy, pissed, happy, pissed.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
now it just became that's kind of like their tradition of you're looking like, hey, or happy, and the next photo is like, fuck you, you son of
hmm,
a bitch, you got the deer. And no matter what it was, you're just like, you got a deer, you son of a bitch.
hmm,
And now I'm gonna pass that tradition on to my daughter and son, and you're like,
yeah,
you son of now I talked to my mom. She said, if my dad, he had his crossbow up getting ready to shoot that deer.
Mhm.
He wanted to shoot him because who knows if it would have came to me or not.
Yeah.
But she told me literally that night when I got fish hook, she told me like a couple days later or something like that. She said,
Mhm.
if he ended up shooting that deer, he would have been hurt in some form because it would have taken the possibility of you not getting that deer. And I took that as like a weight on my shoulder of like, man, that means a lot that my dad would have passed up that size of caliber of a deer
Yeah.
just to not to have let me have the ability to possibly shoot him and let me have that moment.
Yep.
He doesn't know that I know that.
Mhm.
And I think as fathers, when you have kids or someone that you're teaching or motivating in hunting, I'm going to do the same thing to them. I'm not out there to shoot the biggest deer. I want them to get the memories, and I want to be along with them. And that's what hunting is about too, is being able
Yeah.
to let the next generation have memories like that. And we're talking about the 1 buck rule here in Michigan. And I'm not saying every person who supports the 1 buck rule is just chasing trophies, because that would be unfair.
Mhm.
But I do think internet hunting culture has made mature bucks feel like the standard instead of the expectation.
Yeah.
When social media constantly rewards bigger antlers, it naturally influences what hunters ask management to produce.
Yeah. I
And
want to
so,
turn it around. I want to turn it around on you a little bit. So you're saying social media with us on a normal platform and what we kill and how we're in competition each other. Let's take it to the next level with that as podcasts on social media and look at our podcast versus podcasts that maybe have been out and been super successful, and they've got like super big star names on there, or go to these big bougie events with these outdoor personalities. And how does that put the pressure on you as the leader of this team and your podcast that you head up, like Whitetail Advantage and the Frank and Squat show, and Johnny's, getting raped in the middle of the night show, whatever the hell I forgot what he calls it,
Mysteries of the
timber
Timbers.
excursions or something. I can't remember, but I mean, let's take that social media pressure. I mean, we're striving to put a good quality show out. I didn't say professional. I said a good quality show. We're not professional, so I'm the furthest thing from professional.
Yeah,
But
same.
it's right. I mean,
Hmm?
do you feel the presence? I mean, we got to be in competition with that Boondocks feller there, or whatever his name is, Mike, I think.
Oh, fuck that guy.
We're just kidding, Mike. But I mean, no, I mean, there's a lot of other podcasts out there that do the same stuff that we do. I think they're a little bit maybe rehearsed or humdrummy, where I just sit in this chair here in my drum room and chat with you lads all here on TV. So, I mean, but I get good, feedback from people saying that's what we like. You guys aren't scripted. You guys are down to earth. You like to kid around a lot, which can get kind of out of control sometimes. But
Sometimes.
it's, I mean, we're all just big kids anyway. We're just having fun, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think like people lose sight of the hunting aspect. Oh, it's got to be a big buck. It's got to be this. Got to have 8 points or better. I think it happens to us with social media as far as the podcast platforms go and stuff like that. It
Mhm.
you might have a show that runs two times a week, and they're posting every day, like 3 times a day, content. They're putting stuff out there, and we're posting once a day about what we did on the show the other night, or what's to come up, or whatever. So I mean, right? I mean, I think that plays a role in the alongside of how we're pressured with things that we do in the outdoors, how we represent the outdoors, and how we explain stuff that's going on and educating people. I think it's a big role too. I think that we don't really pay much attention to until the pressure's on us.
Right.
So,
Well, let me answer that. When I started this, it was originally called Guardian Antlers, okay?
mhm,
And I did probably about 12 episodes. The
Mhm.
very first 12 episodes were scripted. I scripted things out. I had a buddy Mitch that was joining me,
yeah,
and we'd call people and we talked to them online, and I would spend hours doing editing the podcast, putting it out there.
Mhm.
Then I had to go back into work. I did that when I was on my year leave from work for mental health reasons,
right,
working in law enforcement. Then I had to decide going back into work, that line of work or not.
Mhm.
So then I had to stop. When I got back my feet, I got my footing back on what I'm doing for work now and stuff like that.
yeah,
I took a hard look at what I was doing,
yep,
and I gonna be honest, those first 12 episodes, they were good, but I
Mhm.
wanted to fall asleep to them because what I was doing, I
yeah,
was looking at what other podcasts were doing. It's like, well, I gotta do what they're doing that to help. I gotta do what they're doing because that's what they're doing that's being successful.
yeah,
But then when I went back and I was doing that, I was like, I don't want to go that route. I want to create my own thing.
yeah,
And when I first started getting back into doing this, I listened to hundreds of podcasts, different
Mhm.
versions of podcasts, of like comedy ones, mystery ones, uh, whatever the case may be. And I listened to a lot of channels out there and podcasts for hunting. I
yeah,
made notes on notes on notes of what I liked, what I didn't like.
Mhm.
And I realized, let's go the route that essentially we're at now, doing
yeah,
live shows. We interact with everybody that you have a question, we'll answer to our best of our abilities right here on the spot.
yeah,
And at the time when this was started, I don't think anybody else was doing what I created.
Mm-mm.
And I noticed a lot of the channels out there were, and there's nothing wrong. That's the direction we want to go. That's perfectly fine. But
yeah,
I didn't want to go in the route of, well, if you're not doing this, you're not shooting 200-inch deer and doing that philosophy. No,
yep,
I didn't like that. And a lot of it is now of podcasts are being ran. They created a high enough gathering
yeah,
to where they started getting sponsors from companies and stuff like that. And they started promoting their stuff on the channel. And it
Mhm.
basically became, we work with this, and now we sell their stuff, and that's all they talk about. And we get high celebrity guests on the show and stuff like that.
yep,
I didn't want to go down that route. And I've said this time and time again, no matter who we work with or anything like that, I'm going to be straight, blunt, and to the point.
yeah,
Professional, non-professional, I don't give a shit.
yeah,
And I don't care if people's feelings get hurt by what I say. I don't give a shit. Have a
Mhm.
stronger self-esteem of who you are and look yourself deep in the faith that way.
right,
But what they get from us is because of that, and I like to think people like what we do here is we're straight to the point. We
yeah,
joke, we have fun, and we're just guys talking about hunting because we love hunting. And don't get me wrong, we'll bring some people on that have
Yeah.
success of hunting these giant deer, and we get them on here and we talk and break down what they're doing. I'm
Yeah.
not against doing that, but that's
Yeah.
all these other people are doing. We're getting these high, I don't like using the word celebrity, but celebrity hunters on theirs just to get a good following.
yeah,
And I'm not all about that. I want average guys out there like myself to come on the show and let's talk about hunting. Let's have fun. Let's create a good actual brotherhood.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've always tried to be the working man's podcast, of the mighty He-Man freaking woods pounding stompers that we are. I mean, we're out there doing our thing, and I mean, we show our mistakes, we show our successes. You know, I've been accused of being a professional, and I'm the furthest thing from it, man. There is nothing, nothing that says I'm a professional. I'm just blessed that I do what I do every day. The knowledge that I've accumulated over the years, it's due to a lot of people that I knew, or know. I've rode the coattails of many of people that knew a lot more than I have, and then adapted it to what I could use and see how it worked for me. I mean, I don't want to be that person. I want to be me, but there's a lot of good stuff, man. I mean, the old timers, you didn't talk, you shut up and listened because they've done it. It's nowadays, it's like, well, there's a sense of entitlement. I don't have to listen to that OG guy. I'll chat GPT on how to have success in the woods and do it, and post my pictures all over social media like I'm some god. But we're not about that. We're just average guys that shoot good deer once in a while and have success fishing and out in the turkey woods, and it's what we do and what we learn along the way. And I had a guy come up from Manhattan recently, and he was hunting with our crew, and you talk about a guy, he's a 30-year-old guy who he's never hunted. He doesn't know. He wants to hunt. He wants to really get into it. And, we didn't have success that morning that we were out. And I felt kind of like a turd, because I was really hoping to get him a bird, but it just didn't happen. We saw one. We saw one fly out of a tree land in the field because it got bumped by somebody that walked in late. We were on public land. So that screwed things up a little bit. But you know what he said to me? He's like, dude, don't be sorry. I had a really cool time. And I'm like, okay. He's like, it was exhilarating walking through the dark field behind you and not knowing what was out here or where I was going. I've never experienced stuff like that. Or you took me through some of the thickest woods I've ever been in my entire life to come out on this field edge, the next field over. And I'm like, okay. And, he's like, do you ever like when you're out there in the dark and stuff, does it bother you? And I'm like, no. I'm like, I've done it when I was a kid. Yeah. I mean, you heard the story my dad told you. And, that's where Squatch came from. But, yeah, growing up, yeah. But now it's nothing. It's just part of the game. I'm so used to it. And I take it for granted, I guess. I mean, what other people like find exhilarating, I'm just like, yeah, that's what I do. So it's like, it's cool though. But, I think if you help people, you give time to people that haven't had those experiences with, coming out of the woods with a dead deer behind you and taking a picture with your grandfather and your family and all that. And you show them some love and, work hard to teach them what and stuff. And then they're successful. That's a big jump. That's a lot bigger than, you freaking posting crap on
Dave.
social.
No one likes you, Dave.
Dave
You,
Heath.
Dave.
He's busy making candy. He makes those Heath bars. So he's been busy. He's making candy, and then he rides around in a van, and it says free candy on the side. And it takes up a lot of his time. And the only time he's not doing that is when he's hunting. So he hands out like free subscriptions to XOP and PSE, while he's riding around in the van. He's like, hey, come here. I got some candy for you. So.
Speaking of XOP, I have a guy that was, we were talking about saddle hunting, and I told him, well, I do some stuff with XOP, and I told him I'd be buying XOP gear even if I didn't work with them. He said, really? He said, first off, their sticks are amazing. Yeah. These things grip to a tree, and you don't even have to tie it around the tree. And they're so lightweight, and they're amazing. They're real. And he said, really? He goes, yeah, dude. I have these hydros. I unboxed them. I have an unboxing video that I'm working on right now for XOP.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll bring them by, and you can see how lightweight and amazing these things are. He goes, all right, if they're good, I'll buy them. I'm like, there you go.
Yeah.
So before we close out tonight, we talked about kind of like the negative social media, but we should also talk about what hunting success should be. Hunting success has to be bigger than the likes and the comments and the inches of antlers. If hunting becomes only about proving yourself online, we're going to lose the parts that made it worth doing in the first place.
Right.
research on hunter satisfaction shows success is built from multiple things: opportunity, experience, and tradition, like we said.
Mhm.
That means we should celebrate the big buck, but we should also celebrate the doe, the first deer, the family hunt, the clean shot,
Yeah.
the hard lessons that we face. And the simple fact is, now you got meat in the fucking freezer. The future of
Yeah.
hunting depends on keeping it real enough that regular hunters still feel like they belong.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
No matter what, hunting is for everything. And
Yeah.
we can't lose sight of what tradition is all about.
Yep.
And because of now, I get the science behind growing mature deer and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, hunting is deep rooted in tradition. And the tradition of hunting is getting meat for your freezer, providing meat for your family.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest satisfaction at the end of the day that I get out of it. That the meat that I'm actually eating is the meat that I did.
Yep.
And you can't, and the saying is, well, you can't eat the antlers.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice reward. Don't get me wrong. But that's an afterthought. I mean, yes, that is what I try to go out there to do, is to shoot the biggest deer possible. But I also want to put myself in the position to harvest a deer, to put meat in the freezer. If I, now with $1, or even when I had the $2, if I had a good, mature, a big fat deer, I'm shooting it. Like I said last year, there was this 4-pointer that I saw. He probably weighed 200 pounds. I was going to shoot that motherfucker. He was on my top list to shoot because he was so big.
Yeah.
Rack size was irrelevant. I told my dad, like, even if I had the $1 rule now was in place, I'd be shooting that one because of how big he was.
Yeah.
And I saw a photo of him. I think I deleted it by accident, but I'm trying to still go through my old photos. He was old. Like, this was an old deer. You could tell by his body. Everything about him was old.
Yep.
Like, he didn't have the rack size to like show. Like, as deer get older, they do tend to lose the rack size. So you kind of have to hit them at their peak if that's what you're looking for.
Yep.
But this deer most likely wasn't ever more than a 4-pointer. But this dude was old, and if I was able to shoot this one, that would have been an amazing moment.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree, man. Like I said, it's another thing too, like people don't take into consideration. Maybe a guy's got 3 days of vacation time or stuff because he's used it up helping his family. So he's got to get out. He's got 3 days to hunt, shoots a spike horn. Oh, what'd you go shoot that for? You can't shoot anything better. Well, come on, man. The guy wanted meat for his freaking freezer. It's the only thing that came through. He's got 3 days to hunt. Why are you shaming him? Do you know the backstory on him? I mean, you don't ever know what people are going through.
Exactly.
So take that. I mean, okay, let's say you got like Mr. Blowhard on social media, and he's like, I'm the best thing that's ever hit the woods, and all you guys suck. And every year he shoots a spike. Hey, dude, step up your game. Then I'll say something. But if you're just, got so much time, so what came through, you needed it for meat and you're happy about it and you're good to go, you're good to go. You're good to go in my eyes. And if you shot it with a crossbow, okay, it's legal. Maybe you got a bad shoulder. I don't know your backstory. Look, man, you had to shoot it with a crossbow. So what? Just be happy for the person. If they're busting balls on you and whatever, okay, then hit them back with both barrels. But if they're just posting out there, just be respectful. Say, hey, congratulations, that's cool. Maybe you'll hear his backstory. Hey, I was helping my sick dad out, blah, 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 blah. I only had so much time to get in the woods. I shot this buck. It's a shame. You don't know. You don't know what people are going through. So,
unless you actually know the person, like when I told the team when I shot that doe last year and I shot her through the face, I told them that, and they didn't know what I was going through. They just was reading a text message, and I'm getting my balls busted by them saying, "What, you can't shoot actually," or something like that. Like, what do you expect from brothers? That's all we're going to do is bust balls. We're going to bust balls with everyone out there. I mean, you're a part of the family, so we're going to bust balls, but we're going to do it respectfully.
Yeah.
And when I told them that, like, no, I'm actually going through something right now, like I was meant to, like, I don't know if I wanted to hunt ever again after that because of the after effect of dealing with what I had to deal with at the time. They were like, oh, I support you, man, whatever you need. And they were like right there for me. So
Yeah.
It's one thing to bust someone's balls, but I don't know how I want to say it, Squatch, or do it respectfully. Maybe I don't know. You see where I'm trying to go with this, though?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to joke around, but when you know somebody's hurting because something bothered them, then be a little bit more compassionate towards what they're going through. Like I said, you don't know. Like that day you texted us, we were like, oh, freaking cool, to go right down. We were just being high school idiot kids, like, that's freaking wild. Great shot,
Right.
Brett. We're all just busting balls. And he's like, no, I'm seriously upset. And we're like, holy crap. And then you started explaining the situation, and I'm thinking back to shit that's happened to me, and I'm like, yeah, I can relate. But at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you're ready to throw the towel in, and we're like, no, don't do that. It's not. It's just part of the process. Things happen, and they don't always go as it's supposed to. So, you got to know where to draw the line. Some people, and I'm one of them. I mean, I'll get carried away sometimes, riding the bandwagon, busting chops and stuff like that, and then I'll realize, oh boy, I really screwed up. I should freaking apologize. Me and my big mouth, but I'm the first one to take the shirt off my back and hand it to you if you need something. That's just the way I am. I'm not that guy, and I've screwed up. I've screwed up royally. I have no perfect hunting record. I'll never claim to be this. I never miss. Don't wound shit. Just, things happen, and it happens to everybody. There's a select few out there. Maybe it hasn't. All right, good for you. Your day's coming. So be ready, and when you want a shoulder to cry on, don't come to me because you're perfect. So,
I mean, that's what we'll also do here at Whitetail Advantage. If we share our ups and downs of it, and we show there's more to than hunting than just the glorified part of it. No, there's a lot of back stuff that comes with hunting, and
there is.
Closing out with this, I just want to say, like, the internet changed hunting, but it doesn't have to control what hunting becomes. Okay. We can use social media without letting it define success. But bigger bucks are awesome, but hunting is bigger than antlers. Stay real and stay grounded. And just welcome to the brotherhood, everyone. Just, I got nothing else without to say with that.
Yeah. Be true to thine self, as it says, and I think it's always been my motto. It's easier to tell the truth than remember a lie. So tell the truth. If you screw up, you screw up. Everybody does. Embrace it. Embrace the suck,
Yeah.
And then learn from it. Learn from it. Been in the turkey woods a long time. I had to tell myself today, stop. Just let him get curious. I know you like hearing him talk back to you, but shut up. Shut up. Let him find you. Shut up. He's coming. Just don't screw it up. Last day, and all this stuff. It's like I want to get my picture with my Tom turkey, and thank God it all came together. So it is what it is. If I didn't get one today, I was like, I was good with it, man. I was actually done, so I was good with it. I was like, I don't care, but the opportunity arise, and you got to jump on it when you can, and just ride it out.
Well, you want to close this out with a prayer?
Sure, always. So, Father God, we just want to thank you for bringing us all together here on our podcast, and we just ask that you bless our viewers who are with us and who may soon follow us in the future. As always, you're awesome. You made me have patience this year, and I appreciate it. And just bless you all. And as always, you got mighty Brett Bovin over there, and you got this Squatch guy over here. And as always, shoot straight. God bless you all. Whitetail Advantage is done for tonight. See you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.